Satan and I wanted to trick the world, I would make everyone believe that the world was a globe, that it was just one planet that we live on, but there's thousands and thousands of other planets that no one lives on, right? And that we're just sitting in space, right? Big balls just sitting in space, spinning around, right? And I would teach this to kids when they're young. That way they're institutionalized to never think for themselves again. And so then they would think that, oh, like the Big Bang happened and evolution happened, like the Big Bang. And so if I can make them believe in like nothing created something and the Big Bang just happened and the world is here and you just exist just because, then I would make you believe that your life really has no value. Just here for one moment and gone the next, that no one actually created you. Why would anyone create you? You were just here by chance. Like, that's all that it is. You're just here by chance. You evolved from some type of animal, from some type of monkey, right? And now you just exist. There's nothing else after this, okay? The Big Bang happened and the world will go into a black hole at some point in time, and then everything won't exist at some point. Like, if I was Satan, I would really want people to believe that, like, it all just happened out of nowhere. Honestly, I don't even want you, if I'm Satan, I don't even want you to believe that I even exist. You get what I'm saying? Isn't that interesting? It's real interesting.
I remember me sharing that video about the SR-71 Blackbird being a flat earth proof because of the amount of descent it would have to do to maintain an elevation or an altitude flying that fast around a ball. Well, there's also an SR-71 pilot interview floating around the internet I just watched where he talked about being at 89,000 feet over Tucson, Arizona, and able to see the West Coast, able to see the entirety of the Rocky Mountains, from New Mexico to Canada. At 89,000 feet, the furthest he should be seeing is 366 miles. So how is he seeing the West Coast? How's he seeing the entirety of the Rocky Mountains when the Earth's flat? And just in case you didn't know, the Rocky Mountains are 3,000 miles from one starting point to the other. 3,000 miles. If the Earth is curved, a ball, that curve is in all directions, okay? 3,000 miles is a far cry from 366.
Now on your round globe ball, up is at the top at the North Pole, south is at the bottom, and that would be down on your round globe ball. So up would be towards the North Pole, and down on a ball would be towards the South Pole, as is illustrated and shown. But, as we all know in our reality, up is not towards the North Pole, and down is not towards the South Pole. What's reality? I'll show you. This right here, where the sky is up and the earth is down beneath our feet. So this is the flat earth reality right here, not your globe ball. There, once again, disproving your round globe ball. See this? This is our flat reality, and this is your fake globe ball reality of north being up at the top and south being down at the bottom, when actually the ground beneath our feet, the earth, is down, and the sky above us is up, not north, not south. Boom! Flat earth, baby. Proving it once again.
Moses' description of creation is why I'm a flat earther. And right here in the first book, in the first chapter, is why I was convinced. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. You see, the face of the deep, water was there. He didn't create it. He didn't mention it here that he created it. So there's nothing but water. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw that the light was good. God created light before he created the sun, moon, and stars. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters." Firmament is mentioned nowhere else that I found, except here in Genesis in the King James Version. And let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which are under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Very important that God called the firmament heaven. Very important to understand that. And God said, let the waters under heaven be gathered unto one place, and let dry land appear, and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw it was good. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw it was good, and the evening and the morning were the third day. The third day, the earth was created. That's also very important. God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. This is why clocks and watches and calendars, all that stuff works because of the sun, moon, and stars. Do you understand that they are for signs and for seasons and for days and years? And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give it light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights. So, listen, he made two great lights. He doesn't say that one reflects the other. He calls them lights. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the night from the darkness. And God saw it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day.
So you may be asking yourself, how is this guy so sure that the earth is flat? Flight paths. It makes it pretty obvious. Now, in this flight, they made us stop in Amsterdam, which on the globe would make no sense. Why wouldn't they just fly from here straight through and stop in Africa? Here's another one that won't make any sense. Why did they go all the way up to Calgary here when they could have landed, somewhere in America? Okay, this one's gotta be seriously obvious to you guys. From London to Pakistan. And they emergency landing in Moscow. Why did they land it down here around, and the most obvious one of all, my favorite. These guys landed in LA. If they had, just look, guys, it's all.
I'm from outer space, I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold, I've been far away, I'm illuminated, now make a move, start the waves. I've been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a gold sign. Artificially intelligent way, I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a missing link of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sing, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I just need flow. When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like there is no crumble.
I'm here at New Smyrna Beach, looking out at the water again, and I've made a number of videos in the past, and obviously that water is flat. But I want to talk about something really, really important from a biblical perspective. And that comes from the book of Joshua, chapter 10. You can read the whole chapter, but verses 12 through 14 are really, really important. And anybody that doesn't know about that, that's when Joshua went out to battle. And I'm going to look now and show you, okay? There's the sun. And there's the moon over there. The sun and the moon. So, just imagine, if the Earth is a globe and we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and then we're also going around the sun at 66,600 miles an hour. Go figure, all the numbers they want to come up with, they come up with that. And then in addition to that, the entire galaxy, what they say, is moving. So if Joshua spoke to the sun and said, and he commanded the sun to not move, and he commanded the moon to not move, what would have happened? What would have happened? I'm here at the beach, okay? If it moved the way they want to talk about it moving, there would have been absolute, complete, utter destruction all over the world. But that's not what happened, because the Earth doesn't move. We are stationary. We are a flat plane. The sun and the moon and everything above us is part of the firmament, and it moves around us, except for Polaris. You can do research on Polaris. It's the only star that they see that doesn't move. And so when Joshua spoke to the sun and the moon, he didn't speak to the earth. He spoke to the sun and the moon and commanded them to stop moving. And God ordained his call to do that, and they stopped moving so that he could win the battle. And they stopped. And nothing happened on the earth because the earth doesn't move. I'll show you a few more things here in this clip. Here's the passage in the King James Bible that I have. The sun stands still. Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. I also have Habakkuk 3:11 here. There's Habakkuk, okay, chapter 3, verse 11. The sun and moon stood still in their habitation at the light of thine arrows. They went out, and at the shining of thy glittering spear. It also says that it came from the book of Jasher. So here's Jasher, and I found that in Jasher, and it's actually pretty interesting. So here you go. The sun and moon stood still in heaven, and thou didst stand in thy wrath against our oppressors, and didst command thy judgments over them. So here's the big thing. The sun and the moon stood still in heaven. The sun and the moon stood still. It didn't say the earth stood still. So that right there blows out everything that anybody wants to think. The earth is not some globe that's spinning around the way they're trying to tell us. The earth does not move. This is a huge story. Every single pastor and preacher in the country and around the world should be talking about this, but sadly they won't, because the vast majority of people are going to think this is all crazy. I would highly encourage you to get this book, because this whole debate is completely blown out of the water with the book of Enoch. It's probably why they didn't put it in the Bible, because they want to tell you that it's not real and that somehow it's going to contradict the scriptures, but it's not. In fact, there's so much here, but I'm going to start out on page 79, actually 78. Big thing here. And the sun has therewith traversed the divisions of his orbit, and turns again on those divisions of his orbit, and enters that portal 30 mornings, and sets also in the west, opposite to it. So what is that telling you right there? The sun is what's moving, not the earth. That's why Joshua can speak to the sun to make it stop moving. It can speak to the moon and make it stop moving. Here's another one here. So on page 79, the great luminary, which is named the sun forever and ever, and that which thus rises is the great luminary, and is so named according to its appearance, according to the Lord, as the Lord commanded. As he rises, so he sets, and decreases not, and rests not, but runs day and night, and its light is sevenfold brighter than that of the moon. And here's an important point, but as regards size, they are both equal. The sun and the moon are the same size. So the lies of NASA that, oh, the sun is 93 million miles away is totally pathetic. Now I can go to page 82, and it tells you here the Earth doesn't move. There are portals around it for the luminaries, which is the sun and the moon and the stars. It tells you right here. I'm not going to read all of it, but here you go. It says that they should rule on the face of the heaven and be seen on the earth and be leaders of the day and night, i.e. the sun, moon, and stars, and all the ministering creatures which make their revolution in all the chariots of the heaven. They make their revolution. That supports the dome, that supports the firmament, and that supports that they're all circling around us and moving, and the earth doesn't move. That's right there in the book of Enoch. I can't believe that this is totally ignored by so many people. And then here's more. You can go to page 86. There's a lot there too. I'm not going to read it all, but I just wanted to show you the book of Enoch absolutely 100% validates that the sun and moon are the same size and that they move around the earth. So when Joshua spoke to the sun and the moon not to move, he actually made the firmament stop moving above us. It would have been catastrophic if the earth stopped moving.
The flat earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.